Where's the love? Where's the love? It's right here in the heart of the city. I'm Silas Grant, and I got my man with me, Tony Lewis. What's up?
What's up, Joe? What's happening?
I'm all right, man.
Yeah, man. You know, another week.
Another week, yeah. I'm fresh off this 20-day raw vegan diet.
How you feel?
I feel good, man. It's funny, like you get these moments where it's kind of a struggle.
Yeah.
But then when you got the energy, you be on blast.
Yeah.
It's just interesting how like the ebb and flow of it.
Sure.
But when you on the up, man, it's like an up that you can't get in a natural way any other way.
So what was your first what's your first cook?
I had some soup.
Okay.
Yeah, I just tried to slow walk it. I grilled some chicken and put the chicken inside the chicken noodle soup.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I ain't try to go get like no crazy meal or nothing like that.
Yeah, because you ain't supposed to like do that right
anyway. So
yeah, I'm gonna get myself together. Man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to do that joke one day, one of these days. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you what I learned. So this is like my 4th time doing it. Eric and I do it. Eric Curry.
Oh yeah.
So he put me on. Yeah, shout out to E, man. He put me on to it. So Boosie Vegas. At one point was diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah, shout out to E too.
Yeah, my man E. Yeah,
I talked to him yesterday too.
Yeah, I gotta call my man.
Yeah, wow, that's so wild. He keep telling me we scared to have it. Hey,
we need to have him on here.
No, for real. We gotta put him on.
You gotta get He think we still novices too.
Yeah, then he keep telling me we scared. We scared to have you. All right, yeah, we going. Yeah, okay.
You coming on here soon, man.
Sure.
But nah, he was diagnosed with I think stage 3 cancer. I forgot what kind it was. But him and Eric did the raw diet together, and 2 things added up to 4, and he got the clearance that he no longer had it after doing the raw diet. Yeah. So he does it once a year, and I normally do it the same days as him, January 2nd through 21st, so 20 days. And that's how I got on it. But he'll go to like raw restaurants and they make like raw vegan tacos and raw vegan pizza and I've tried some of the stuff, which some of it is good, but I think I'm more.
Is that spot right by here still open? That raw spot?
They not on this block anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's it called? Kepra? Like
yeah. Kepra.
So where that's at now?
I think they doing a house operation now. Yeah, they got like a house license to be able to serve food out of a residence.
Okay. Yeah, if I do it though, I'm probably gonna just keep it. You know what I'm saying?
Smoothie salad. Man, I'm more accustomed to doing it that way, and I like that option versus and that.
So like you can't, like I was thinking about it, right? I was thinking about it, like trying to map it out. I'm like, damn, okay, in the morning, blah, blah. But you can't eat oatmeal, right?
First of all, so raw is defined as 160 degrees or less. So there is a heating that you can do. So like when I go to some of the spots that do raw food, if I want to do like, let's say raw vegan tacos, right? They might have a seaweed wrapping. And to keep it together, they'll put it in a toaster, but they'll have the temperature below that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's up to.
Wants that though? That's why. See, that's.
I mean, like I said, some of the food I've had is
seaweed. So what's not? Walk me through this real quick. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But what's in that? I see you got the seaweed wrapper.
All right, full disclosure.
No, I don't do nothing face. No.
Right. So full disclosure, I didn't look all the way in it because. It was like, all right, let me try this. Let me just eat it, right? Let me not even look in there. I do know that there was avocados inside, which I love avocados.
That'd be a check for me. I
like so there was the taste that I had was not just the avocado taste. There was a sweet taste to it as well. They also had like a raw vegan, like sort of semi-spicy sauce.
Okay.
That reminded you of taco sauce. So it was good. I don't know all the ingredients because I just purposely didn't look in.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay. But yeah.
So, and when you do the raw diet, I know like typically, right, you do your fasting or you eat once a day, twice. You know,
I don't really fast when I'm doing that because the calorie.
Right? I was just wondering,
the calorie intake is probably how I do the raw diet. I'm probably barely consuming 1,000 calories. Okay. I just end up not being hungry in that period. I still drink all the water and all that, but like my calorie intake go way down. Like, bro, I got on the scale the last day.
Yeah,
it was 179.
Dang.
I ain't been 179 since like early Hampton, maybe even Coolidge.
But see, like food, like my fat ass food, I don't even know. 179. I probably ain't been 179. Now nigga was running around like weighing himself back then.
Yeah, only time you went to the doctor.
I wasn't even doing that. For real. I don't think I went to the doctor from when I was like 12 to like 25. Yeah, ain't that crazy?
It's crazy.
But anyway, that's enough.
I only got weighed for like sports when I played baseball.
That's true. Yeah, so I probably wore 179. Yeah, when I'm saying since I probably was like 15 or something, bro. Like if I really think about it, something like that.
I probably was like 160 in Coolidge early.
That's crazy. Damn, that's all right.
So, you know.
That's all right. What you trying to do though? Kill yourself? What you trying to do?
If I could keep that little 180,
you like that?
I'm cool.
It's good for you.
It's good. Yeah.
32 G's. I see you, Slim. Hey, Slim. I see you, ho. I see what's happening.
I see what's
happening, Joe. I see what's happening. That's what's up, though. Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna try. I'm the type that I can't schedule it. I'm like for a lot of things that I've. No, brother, I ain't just making this about this. We talked about goal setting last week. For me, I don't know. It's just how my mind works. I just get in the mode. Like, okay, this one I'm on. Because if I say, February 1st. That never worked for me. Yeah. I just gotta be like, when I wait tomorrow, we on it, and that's gonna come February. Something. I ain't saying that necessarily the Raw died, but I think I'm gonna start 75. You know what I mean? All these situations keep coming up though. Like
it ain't no 75 clear days, yo. Ain't no 75 clear days. You just gonna have to figure out what you willing to sacrifice.
After this Super Bowl though is on.
Yeah.
Cause that's gonna be everything after that. I can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your birthday May 28th, right?
My birthday May 28th. My anniversary April 23rd.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know, but we gonna
happy birthday, Jess too.
Happy birthday, boo.
Yeah,
we had a good weekend too, man. This weekend was really one of the things. Real quick on that, we spent the weekend at the Pendry in Southwest down the wharf or whatever, right? And it was free. Weather was real. It was cold as heck this weekend or whatever. Accommodations were amazing. Service was out of this world, and we kind of did every aspect. We experienced the hotel in its entirety: spa, gym, restaurants, bar, all of that, right? And man. You hear, right? Sometimes, boy, you can really, really forget. Just like, yo, this is an incredible place. And I felt almost like I was away, but obviously I knew I was here, but I felt like I was away. But we had a wonderful time, bro. We did, and I know that she had a good time. We did a little tea party, Joan did, all out. It just was a shout out to all the people at the Pendry. At the wharf, they really sent up, little mini little cake thing for Jess. Gave her when she went to the spa. They gave her a candle. You know what I mean? They just put all the bells and whistles for us, and I really appreciated that. We had a really, really good time, man.
You saying what you just said about this place that we live, right, where we're from. It hit me just a minute ago. You like the only person, literally, that I hear. That's from us, like of us, that speaks of it that way. I mean, I think a lot of us have a somewhat of an admiration for the changes, but I don't think most people from where we come from embrace it the way you do.
Yeah, I know.
Do you? I know you noticed that, but you really noticed that?
I do.
I don't hear nobody else say that.
I know, man, and I think.
It's almost like people that we know that are not from here look at us as being foolish for not looking at it that way.
Yeah, I think, I know, they do. And I refuse to allow, because a lot of times, right, like we're so, trauma can be blinding.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? It's always interesting to me sometimes when I'm in certain places or I talk about certain places and people that's from us, like I see people look at me like,
And you know what's
Damn, oh, you be going in there, or like they feel like I'm supposed to be like because I fight for us to move like but I gotta be like anti, you know.
But you know what I find to be so interesting about that? We used to be a place where your value was on how up on things you were.
Yeah, I kind of think that I'm conditioned by that.
Yeah.
So it's no way something gonna be this, that, they're in
that
my
fly,
town, and I'm not there.
You ain't been in
Yeah, I
there.
mean,
Yeah.
you know what I think was crazy is like, I'm so glad you framed it that way, because really that was my indoctrination, right? That's how I was raised. So I never lost that. You know what I mean? I've never been anti these new things. I just want us to be in a position for me when I'm in there that I see somebody else I know.
Yeah,
that's it.
And I think now, it's a good thing to some degree. But our generation, DC natives, we've become really enamored with nostalgia.
Yeah, bro. Too much, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, see, I'm not, that's what, I remember when Angel and I first started talking about the DC Natives Day, right? Obviously, it was a response to Watch Tony, blah, blah, blah. But the main thing that we were trying to push through the DC Natives movement was we were not just a part of DC in the past. We are going to be a part of DC moving forward. That was the most important thing, because without that, the past gets erased. If we're not in the present, and if we're not going to be a part of the future, our culture dies. You know what I mean? So you can't be too. We gotta keep evolving.
Yeah,
elevating.
We can't
culture,
afford
bro.
to have everybody in the rearview mirror.
Can't.
You got to look at the windshield and keep going. Yeah,
it's impossible to do that. And like, I'm gonna give you an example, bro. I was coming out of Republic Cantina, which is the restaurant on N Street, around our way. I'm coming out the jump, right? My big homie, he like, and his mother live on N Street now. His mother live across the street and about 6 houses up from the restaurant. I live through the alley. They live across the street from me. He's like, you be going in that jump? I was like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, but you not going there all the time? He like, for real? I'm like, yeah. And then I'm looking at him like, you don't never go in? He was like, nah, I don't be trying to go in that joint. I ain't know they, you know what I'm saying? I said, you ain't know they what?
You needed a passport to get in there?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like the day when me and you was at back in the day, kinda, but you know what I'm saying? When we was sitting in front of whatchamacallit. I don't know if you remember this. When we was playing the second March for Peace, what's the jump?
Oh, Big Bed.
Big Bed.
Yeah.
You remember that? And dudes from Florida Park walk past like, hey, Slug, you be you be in this jump? Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to come in Big Bed when it was a store playing my numbers when we was youngins. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I come here to get a coffee, you know, whatever it is. You know, it's like these invisible barriers where people feel like these places aren't for them. You know what I mean? Now, if I ever go anywhere, I don't care who owns it, and I don't get the right customer service, I'm not going to beg nobody to serve me. I'm not going to patronize their spot. Mm-hmm. But if I go in somewhere and I get treated in the product, they got something in there that I like and it's good, I'm going to go in there. You feel what I'm saying? And I think, though, that mindset, though, happens a lot with us. You know what I mean? Not that this wasn't supposed to, but I try to purposely go in places so that other people will know that, yeah.
Along the lines of what we plan to discuss, and this was not planned this way, but I'm going to ask you a question when it comes to this. 2 options. When people are reluctant to go into those spots, is it that they feel like they'll be mistreated or that they have to be a different version of themselves?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. I think they don't feel comfortable.
So you don't think people feel like they're going to be mistreated?
Not mistreated. They may feel like they're not welcome.
Uh-huh.
Or it may not be comfortable. I think people don't feel like they can be themselves. They feel like the environment culturally is not for them. But I also think people sometimes assume that they have to be different. Right? They haven't been in spaces where it wasn't dominated by people that come from their culture enough to feel like when you go in wherever you go that you got to be different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that I feel that way. I don't go in nowhere and show up differently. I be me, but I'm also accustomed to that, right? I frequent different places. I've been doing that a long time. You know what I'm saying? But what's ironic? You know what I mean? It's just about, because I think about this, right? I think about Houston's. I'm talking about back in the day. I think about like a place like Houston's, or when it was in Georgetown. Place like the Market Inn. You know what I mean? A place like, you know, Ruth Chris when it was on Connecticut and S, or the Jonah Chris. I'm talking about back in the day before everybody was, you know what I mean? You going in these certain spots. Now, again, and mind you, I've been going in these places since I was a kid. So again, you know, I've been doing that since I've been a child, though. You know what I mean? So I get it. Like, for me, it's different. But even in places I'm naming, though, when people started feeling like, you know, other people that they know go, you find them same people find them their way there, right? It's the same as type of establishment, right? Or the Del Frisco's now, or, you know what I'm saying, Philippe Chow, or whatever, right? It's still, but when people start seeing people that they know go somewhere, then they say, oh, let me check this joint out. Now, you would the original sort of profile for the customer may not necessarily be you, you know, but once they start seeing people that they know go somewhere, they go, right? And so for me, it just be like, yo, this our town. It ain't a place in this city that we shouldn't, you know, go. Now, yes, you have the right. First of all, now we know affordability is another thing. Can't take that off the table, right? But, you know, people spend money on things, you know what I mean? People spend money where they want. So that's one. I can't never like not acknowledge that point. But I think it's more about people feeling like if it's a place with people that they don't know frequent, I mean, people that they know frequent, then they're left to say, well, if I go in a spot like that, damn, do I gotta put this on? Do I gotta talk like this? You know? And I think that does prohibit. So let me just go where I, you know what I'm saying? Let me go to Jasper's or
Mid-Atlantic,
man. And no shout out to
I love those spots. Go. I love both of them.
You know
spots.
What I mean?
Yeah, me personally.
Yeah, I don't, but it's cool. So I'm saying, no, but at the end of the day, yeah, right? Let me do that. You know what I'm saying? And to each his own, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, let it be, in my opinion, that because you just don't want to go there. That's not what you like. Versus just saying you ain't going in there because that spot ain't for us. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
You know what I mean? What does that mean? Yeah. Feel me? Like it's but again, you know, we all have had things that we like to do, places we like to go, but on that nostalgia piece, you understand what I'm saying? Some people, I'm so glad you said it the way you, because sometimes I don't want us to forget that part of the nostalgia. Back then, where it was if you was all them old pictures and stuff people be throwing up, or how fashionable we were and all this and that ain't just stop at clothes. You see what I'm talking about for them guys, the ones that, you know, everybody, you know, be acting as if, but for them, you know what I'm saying? You went to the, you know what I mean? And it wasn't even about proximity to whiteness or no. You was getting a bankroll, you know what I mean? You gonna go where, you know what I mean, people with a bankroll go. That's kind of, you know what I mean, how it was. You know what I mean? I remember days with, you know, I grew up going Houston's, Chrisfield's, the Fishery, Market Inn, you know what I'm saying? Like that was like our run, you know what I'm saying? And when I started getting, I remember them saying, man, bro, like first time I like won my own money. Two things I won. I won some money in the crap game. I was like 12 when both of these happened. Won some money in the crap game, and then I hit the number one time. You know what I'm saying? Young, 12 years old. I'm taking my buddy. We getting on the G2 on 3rd and P and going to Houston's. Yeah, my men tell you, they ain't know how to order. They ain't never been to no restaurant. Yeah. That's what we getting, man. I'm a young, you know what I'm saying? But guess what I was doing? All I was, listen, man, we are naturally cooperative. We do what we see. That was my parents, my mother and my father, like this, okay, boom. Now, even back then, too, we might go to, when you was talking about this, Chesapeake or, you know, Red Lobster, Chesapeake, you know what I'm saying? That was big deal back then, too. Yeah. But, again, like, in going places that, you know, you went out to eat, you went, you know what I mean? So that's my children. They're going to ask you, Dad, where we going? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? No, but you know what I'm saying? They, because I'm exposing them in the same way. The other part of that, though, what I think back to, my ability to talk to people, right? My ability to you know, to have manners and have class, all that started then. You know what I mean? When I was a child. So yeah, if people make, you know, Slug always 5-star. Yeah, but you know what? I might be dead broke. We might, you know what I'm saying? But I got a certain expectation for how I want to live, home. You know what I mean? So when it really come, I'm already ready, man.
Practicing.
Yeah, bro, because we deserve that. Yeah. That's how I be looking at it anyway. We deserve that for sure. For sure.
And I think it's interesting because like when you think about your experiences in those places that maybe some of us don't necessarily believe we belong in or we're welcomed in. You know, again, that's still you.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of different doors that we can open and different functionalities and phases of who we are. You know, we always talk about as a group we're not monolithic, but like who you are and how you show up oftentimes is somewhat, they're different folds.
Facts.
And different.
Who you know, I think about this when I be teaching, or especially when I used to teach the classes, but even now when I get a chance to get in the classes, you know, if we're really thinking about, we're talking about entrepreneurship, you know, things like that, things to change the paradigm for our families and our communities and all that, right? Like I just think about this on that level alone, networking wise, right? I was watching you and BJ on the live yesterday. Shout out to BJ Page.
Yeah.
And you know, I was talking about your network is your net worth. Things like that, right? So I started thinking about it when you talk about when guys start and men and women start deciding like what they want to do, and they trying to move and shake into this, right? And people, you know, people like you and I, people come to us, like I'm saying, I got this idea, I got this, or I got my business, I'm trying to connect, I'm trying to meet them. They might even call us to like ask us could we put them in touch with whomever, right? But check this out. I be thinking to myself as well when you talking about these type of places, right? Whether it's the coffee shop or the new restaurant, or I go in Washingtonian sometimes. What's the top 10 bars? What's the top 10 restaurants? Where you think the people that you saying that you want to meet people in these different fields, where you think they go? I'm just saying they not that awkward. You feel me? So in my mind, sometimes too, it gets in, especially in this town. Somebody told me this a long time ago in Washington, and they were saying almost like they was from the perspective of like on the hill. But I think this is true across DC in general. The deals get done, man, at the happy hour. I'm not getting the stuff get carried out in the office 9 to 5, but the connections get made. You know what I mean? 5 to 12, if you will, right?
Joe's.
Come on.
Them type of joints, yeah.
Come on. This is where the connections happen. So this stuff ain't just, you understand what I'm saying? Because I never forget this, bro. I was in Vegas one time, right? And it's like I was in a spa, right? You know, you with a girl, girl going, the women going, they jump. The man going in the waiting turns. If you having a couple massages before they call you into the, you know what I'm saying. So I'm sitting. It's me and like 3 white guys, right? And I never forget this because it's during a recession, right? So but first of all, we all stay in the same hotel. We stand at the Venetian, right? And we in there watching CNN on. Sports on, ESPN on. So, and the older white, I'm the youngest guy by 25 years probably. 20 years minimum. Hey, they just start talking to, how you doing, young man? I'm good, man. How the tables treating you? That's the first thing, right? So, sports and gambling is something that's universal, right? And I was telling him, like, I ain't really, I got in kind of late, I plan on getting something today. I'm like, how they treating you, blah, blah. We having that small talk. So the next question is, what do you do? Now, of course, I'm a young black man, of course I got to be I'm in the music industry or athlete or sports. That's in their mind.
Or you jamming.
Or I'm rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
They don't want to,
They don't want to ask that.
Right.
That's what they trying to get to, though.
No question.
Yeah.
But if you're not one of those two, then you definitely rocking and rolling. You ain't no professional.
Yeah.
Right? But if, I give them, I telling them, what I'm saying, I'm like, so I throw the question, what about you guys? Well, I'm in finance. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Next thing I say, I'm like, yeah, man, I know it's rough, man. The recession. And the other dude, the other white dude asked the other white dude, like, what about you, man? I know, it's these troubling times for me. He's like, well, man, I hate to say this like this, but man, my business is booming. And these times it always gonna boom. So we like, what you do? He's like, I'm in the bread industry. I was like, yeah.
Like real bread.
Like real bread.
I got you.
Yeah, when things get tough, what you eat more of?
Loaf of
bread to fill you up. You know what I mean? He was from Canada. I never forget this. Anyway, what I took from that, though, me and them guys would never have a conversation in general, probably, because guess what? We would never be around you. I said, man, I got to make sure I'm always putting myself in spaces where I can bump into people that, now at that time, I wasn't even ready to really have the type of conversation I could have with them now. But I had we had a great conversation before we got anyway, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But my point is, that's what's in my mind as well. And I know wherever I talk about Republic Cantina or Domestique, who the wine joint on North California, which they shout out to them. They sent me a wine box.
That's your junk too.
That's my junk.
Yeah.
And they sent me a wine box the other day, man. That shit touched me. But they in my neighborhood. Like, what? You think, open up and round my way? And what I'm supposed to do? Just not go and introduce myself? Not go in there and see what's up with it? You know what I'm saying? But even more broadly, it's our city. Pull up, and you also never know who you may bump into, who you may encounter. That idea that you had, or that person you say you trying to meet, yeah, you gotta go where they are if you want to really make that happen.
Do you think that there is a defined line between polishing yourself up, code switching, and just going too far with being a different identity when you're in those spaces? Is there one line? Is it different for different people?
I think yes. So I think you can go too far. But I also feel like there's a possibility that the people that you're trying to go to those lengths to either impress or, become more amenable or friend, whatever your goal is, they can see that too.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Now, I don't think anything is wrong with code switching, right? That's important. Like you always talk about the art of communicating, right? I remember when I went to Gonzaga, right? I was 14. So I'm in some classes, again, I was the only black dude in the gym. And I remember, even with the teachers, I used to answer questions or ask a question or even just talking to people. I ain't talking a lot, but when I did. And every time I say something, somebody be like, what? Or like, huh?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Like, I used to be like, and I would ask, like, what you mean? What I mean? Like, am I not speaking English? You feel me? Like, what the fuck? But what I soon learned was that they were used to hearing things a certain way. You feel me? So did I start trying to talk like them? No, I never did that. But I said, oh yeah, I gotta enunciate a bit more so that I would be able to get, because I needed to communicate. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just like at when, if I'm, when I first started dating Jess, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting at the table, they talking Portuguese or whatever the fuck, like, I don't understand what they saying. Nigga really beefing, because I'm like, what are they saying? You feel me? You think they talking about you and everybody laughing but you. That was wild. You feel me? That's wild. you also start observing body language now. You know, you might smile more. You know, but they can't understand me. I just can't understand them. I mean, when they're talking to each other, right? But then we start getting a little rhythm. Anyway, but I felt motivated at least to start seeing what can I learn? Ask Jess a question. What can I? So when I'm listening now, I can kind of try to follow, you know, or something like hamburger. Right, so if they talk Portuguese, but then they say hamburgers, okay, I know they talking about food on something level. What y'all talking? You know what I mean? But my point is, the need to communicate is important. So in terms of how the coach or Jess may talk to me and then talk in Portuguese to her mother and talk back to me, and then her and her mother might say half the sentence in English and half in Portuguese because they can do that. I always marveled at that fluency, right, to go back and forth. And I feel like I always wanted to be able to do that in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like to develop the ability to do that, but still remaining me is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And that's what people have to do. Because if you go too far, you're going to start looking crazy to the person you trying to, like, you know, because then they're going, what about, like, is that really you? You feel what I'm saying?
It took me a long time in my own journey to articulate what you said within your last piece, right? Because I used to wonder, like, because you and I started recording the podcast the first time, like 2011.
Yeah.
So that was like the first time where I was really hearing myself on a consistent basis, speaking publicly. And around that same time, I was A&C. So from 2006 to like 2011, those 5 years, I was hearing myself consistently speaking, like on recordings.
Right.
And it hit me a few years ago that I do speak differently because of the diction, right? It wasn't really, you hit it on the head. It was like, I got to speak this way because the audience is not going to understand what I'm saying. And not unfortunately, but the reality is my experiences taught me to speak a certain way so that only some people will understand.
That's right.
And what's crazy is it's not just color. Like when I went to Hampton, I talked to people from out of town at Hampton different than I do DC people.
Facts.
Even to this day, I gotta talk differently because
I think that's a skill. That's a tool.
And even like with Molly, I can't. The other day, she was looking at the iPad, and she didn't have it charged. So sometimes she know when the battery low, sometimes she don't. So it's totally off.
Yeah.
And I take it from her and I'm like, man, gotta charge this junk.
Yeah.
She said, that's not a joke, that's a tablet. She had no idea, right? And I said, oh, my fault, the tablet. I gotta. Yeah. So even with her, like that's my daughter. Like I have to, even when I'm disappointed or when I'm like happy about things she does, I have to speak differently.
Correct.
Like more with the diction has to be more attention to it.
That's right. And that fits who you're talking to, what you're talking about, right? And that's even, you know, again, being if I travel somewhere, right, and I'm in Chicago, or if I'm in Portland, or if I'm in Miami, wherever I'm at, like I'm talking to young people though. You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain things, especially like through, you know, music, and I know when I was in Baton Rouge, like there's certain things that I know that they say. You feel what I'm saying? Like I may not say it the way that they say it, but I allude to it to let them know that I'm hip to how they talk, right? Yeah. But that's something I'm code switching to fit so that I can, you know, create more buy-in with them. To let them, oh man, dude from DC, or he hip, or he cool, you know what I mean? That, or even when I'm in over DYS or I'm in Pathways, I'm not using the same. We from DC, just like them, but they young. They using different slang. You feel what I'm saying? And I got to know what's up.
Can't go in there and tell me what's up, Joe.
Nah, they gonna look at you like, oh, you from out of town, like
out of town, wow,
like you super wow. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't no different than, you know, being able to. But you gotta. This is the main thing. First, you gotta be comfortable in your own skin. That's A. You know what I mean? Before you can create comfort somewhere else, it's an external comfort.
You got to two-step first.
Got to.
Before you start moving your feet around.
Yeah, facts. But once that happens, it's like, I want people to frame. We always trying to give people tools of how they can go to that next level. And one of the things that I do know, bro, when you start talking about, we mentioned sort of the theory of natural selection on here before. When you start talking about adaptation, right? To adapt is to make suitable, right? To adjust. And for DC natives, right? Your terrain has changed. It has literally changed. The idea that you can hunt in the same way. We talking about that in the style. The idea that you can hunt something that is no longer even huntable. You can't hunt it because it's not here. That's really what we're grappling with. When you see the spikes in the carjackings and the robberies and the murders and all, what you really seeing is a visceral response to inability to adapt to the current state of things. It's not just about, one of it is economic too, that people are poor and can't participate. But part of them being poor is really, really related to the ability to adapt to, or the ability to hunt the new food sources that are now available here in the District of Columbia. That is really the conundrum, right? And so that's why trying to encourage people to stretch, to grow, to develop parts of themselves is for literal survival. That's how I see it. It's literally for survival, because if you do not develop the ability to communicate with people other than other black people from the district, you can't survive in the district. Even if you are a business that focuses, where your primary target customer is a black person from DC, you better be able to have something that somebody from somewhere else wants. If that's a piece of clothing, if that's a haircut, if that's a food item, if that's whatever it is, you know what I mean? You better expand. And that's what this is about, bro. You cannot survive here, right? Only on what we used to do. There's no way you can do it. You can't. Not a church, like, bro, that's not even. I'm talking about not a church, not a mosque, not nothing. When you think you just going, I don't care what it is, bro. The things that cater solely to us no longer exist. I mean, you can't look at Ben's Chili Bowl. You think Ben's booming just cause people from here that used to get had smokes in the 80s and the 90s,
Big
60s.
Johnny and them.
Big Johnny and them. First of all, that them, you know what I mean? They gone. Or will be going soon. No, seriously. I'm saying, for real. Our generation ain't even necessarily turning to reach our potential, so we limited. You better expand. So when you see them tour buses pull up on Benz and all that, when you see Benz in the airport and at the Nat Stadium and you know what I'm saying, and on 8th Street, yeah. You get my point though.
No, absolutely.
So
I think the terrain.
That's a cold switch, bro.
Yeah.
They fundamentally though. Oh, and don't get me. And also you can go buy Benz Hair Smokes in the Giant. You can go buy chili in the Giant. Take home and heat up. That's expansion. That's adaptation. That's growth. You know, we gotta be Benz, bro. As an individual, you have to see it that way, Holmes. Other than that, you know what I mean? Other than that, and we talk to people all the time. You know what I think about in this conversation? We used to talk to him on God Rest His Soul, miss him dearly every day. Shout out to Ricardo Dorn.
My man.
It's our brother, man. Miss you, dog.
Man.
Miss you, dog. But remember, we used to have conversations with Cardo about getting out that comfort zone, Cardo.
Beefing with Cardo.
Me, you got it.
I used to be beefing.
He beat out, man, Slim, I need this. I'm like, bro, all you got to do, man, to make that move. Do this. I don't know, Tone. I'm saying, Tone. All right, I'm going to do it one day. I call him and say, Cardo, did you feel the obligation? No. He said, Tone, I ain't even going to lie.
That's my man.
That's my man. But I'm bringing him up. I'm bringing our brother because it was a prime example of like what. First of all,
because he was the best of the best. First of all,
what he called for.
Yeah, he was the best of the best at what he did. Bro. Yeah, man.
And what he said that he wanted. Yeah. But he wanted it where he was.
Right.
He had all the right, but he didn't want to get out of his comfort zone to get what he deserved. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. What he called for. What we know, you know what I'm saying, that he called for. But my point, I feel, is a lot of people in that same situation. What stops them from venturing into these other spaces? I mean, it's only up for them to really, know. But I want people out there and to take that leap. You understand what I'm saying? Take the leap. You have what it takes. Don't doubt yourself. What they call that, John? Imposter syndrome, whatever. Like, no,
we was talking about that last night.
You belong, dog. You got it. And don't overestimate. We got these rooms that we think if we're not in, like, we overestimate the people that's in that room. Like, what? You bring value wherever you go. You gotta stand on that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes certain people get in that room, they in there because you not. That's the only reason they in there. They in there because they dared to go in there. And you sat out here and didn't judge who, shit, they ain't even doing. Yeah, they in there though.
Yeah, in there though.
Yeah, only way they not gonna be in there if you go in there. Yeah. And we need, like I'm saying that like from the DC Native side, we need y'all to go in there.
In there. Because guess what? You and I have been in rooms and single-handedly shifted decisions. We can speak to real, and we've been in rooms where we given advice, they didn't take it, and it.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I we see it. We all have our journeys. We all have our insecurities. Our things that we just may not want to do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some things out there that people may want me and you to do, but we may not want to do. I was going
to say Cardo used to get on us too. Yes. To his credit.
To his credit.
To his credit, he used to get on us too.
He said, if you want me to do this, you do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He definitely did. He definitely did. So, you know what I mean? And sometimes, maybe in due time, Cardo, maybe for you, you know what I'm saying? But for real, like, but we had like legitimate reasons of maybe why those things couldn't happen at those times. But at the same time, we were also pointing out to him too, but like, these are the ways we kind of try to get some of that stuff done. You know what I mean? We still was working on it, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think it's important also to have the type of friend that he was to us and the kind of friend that we were to him to help you get that confidence. You know what I'm saying? And sharpen you and blah, blah, blah. So that's all of that speaks to the same thing. But to have things going on in our city, and it don't just, we framed it around like restaurants, this and that. But even if it's like events, man, you know what I'm saying? That's going on. Like certain things, like especially these free events, whether it's a farmer's market, whether it's a festival of some sort. You know what I mean? Like, pull up, like be present.
So I asked you earlier about the two sides of code switching, going into places, whether it's the fear of being mistreated or the fear of having to be somebody that you aren't. As you developed socially and professionally, I even think back to when we ran into Mark and Taz recently, and you gave them a lot of props for bringing you up. You talked about etiquette and all that. Some of that you learned at their establishments too, right?
100%.
Was there anything that you had to like leave behind that like hurt you to leave behind though?
People.
They can't go.
Like, they not people that I would want to be beside me. I ain't leave them in terms of like our relationship, but it hurt me, and it still do sometimes. It's like, I want the men be right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like to really get the fullness of the journey. Like for me, a lot of times, like the people that was beside me when, we was going up the black hole, or, you know what I'm saying, or just standing on that corner, you know what I mean? Sometimes you want them beside you for these, like, bigger moments, you know what I'm saying? And it be like, some of them locked up, some of them dead, but then some of them just round away, but they just not in a lifestyle where they gonna be right. They with you in your heart, but like you want them to be like, man, you remember Slim? Because the people that's around you, sometimes they didn't see that whole journey. You be one the person, you know what I'm saying?
I got a handful of friends that kind of fit that bill, but it's a little bit of a twist. I know they could fit in. They just don't. They just don't want. I done invited on purpose, man. Come with me to this joint right here, and I can feel like I ain't comfortable with that. But I want them because they got plans. So if they were ever approached in those environments, they can talk to what they trying to do.
Correct.
I got a handful, a very small handful that I know I've given invitations like, man, come with me to this.
Yeah.
And so it the same sort of like, that's the hurt that you had to leave something behind. But I know, or they might not totally be there, but this could really be like the
thing. If they came, it could,
Oh.
Yep.
Even after I come back and be like, man, that joint was like that. Like, we had a good time in that joint. Like, I hit you the next joint.
Yeah.
But I know they not.
You know they not. Yeah, and I think about, and also like I think personally though, sometimes I think about, I feel like I've learned to, like certain, I never want to come off like I am saying I know it all, or like in certain room, you know what I'm saying? And also too, sometimes you don't always want to, I try to, definitely, I've learned not to like, I can't speak for every DC native.
Yeah.
And we're not a monolith, you know what I'm saying? And so it doesn't hurt. I'm just saying this is something that I've grown into, like how to frame things.
But I be feeling like this though,
less
right?
personally and more, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like my friends know if I invite you somewhere, like if I'm really adamant about it, I got some say-so in that environment. I'm not coming in that joint like, well, I don't know nobody.
Yeah, I know.
I know half the room, if not the whole room. Like when you with me and if I tell you, come, I'm not telling you, I don't know, I heard about this joint. My man doing
Facts.
it.
Yeah.
My man getting the award or my man doing it. Or, we in here. This is our joint when you come in here.
Facts. And I think sometimes if a person too, they're not coming around enough. Like people know like what you do, but like sometimes you don't see it.
Yeah.
But that's the point. That's why you probably try. That's why you say come.
Yeah.
So you can really see. You know what I'm saying? Because we also had things where we taking people to certain stuff, and they like, man, when the next? Yeah. They had such a good time. They met. You know what I mean? And man, it's like that can be something that's like I just be like, damn, I wish such and such was here, man. You know what I'm saying? On another note though, what's been really cool, last 10 months. I mean, I always would say, I wish my father would be, you know what I'm saying? My father been able to be, you know what I'm saying? And it's been really crazy to those experiences have been beautiful, but also for him to just be like, man.
I see him in events. I see the look.
You know what I mean?
I can see it.
And he's saying it like, man, I thought I knew. He said, man, but to be here, and to really see my son doing, you know what I'm saying?
I told you the day you were out of town and it was Emancipation Day.
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw him without you.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about them people was beating him down to get to him. That's
less
than a month at that point.
Yeah, I know he was fresh.
Slim, I watched him.
Yeah.
I'm about as far away as we are right now.
Right.
And we talking. I had Molly with me. We talking to people, and I just keep glancing over. And then we get to walking in the march with Kenyon and all them. Slim, it was amazing. Crazy. It was amazing to see.
Yeah, crazy.
I seen police officers running up on him.
Ain't that so?
I was like, Jesus
Christ.
Wild.
Yeah, you back. That was just wild. We was in Whole Foods the day before yesterday. No, was that day before? That was yesterday. And a lady walked up to us. She walked up to him first because my back was turned. You know what I'm saying? And, just saying, welcome home. And I was like, oh, they're going to say it to the son. The son. I was like, the son, yeah. She's like, I just saw you on the news. And da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? And, that kind of stuff just be really cool. Like that. you know, for him to see that and even experience that, I mean, for him, you know, just people run up to him too is like, you know what I'm saying?
Has he talked about the code switching thing?
You will, yes, because one of the things, we'll look at it like this, right? The world he come from. I'm saying he don't talk to, and he an introverted type dude anyway, right? But he don't talk to people. So now he's like, he come home and now he like really like he's a public, like he was a mythical figure. He was somebody in the street. But to have, like he'll say like to have regular people, like as he call it, like just people walk. He, you know what I'm saying? When he at Costco and people pay for his stuff and unbelievable gestures of love and kindness. And so him having to learn how to like, he wants to reciprocate that. So he's had the code switch out of his like, almost like.
Let's stop for a minute. Yeah. Before he reciprocated, not him, but I think this fits a lot of us, right? Us, DC natives. Sometimes we quick to reciprocate it, but we don't know how to accept it.
Yeah. Sometimes because you ain't used to.
And I gotta reciprocate it because if not, I'm gonna feel uncomfortable just simply accepting it.
Simply accepting it. And also, then I want this person to know, especially like a gesture like that. Like, I want somebody to know, like, I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and me and him have talked about that because I'm like, yeah, Papa, I guess it's more natural for me or I'm just used to it more, but still, I ask people say, man, you Tony Lewis, right, man, thank you, like, wait, but what's your name, man?
Right. Yeah, you know? I be feeling the same way. Yeah,
like, oh, Mike, thank you, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, I keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate. And I'm like, bro, and I really appreciate you sharing that. Like the sister yesterday, she's like, can I give you a hug? Yes, of course you can. You know what I'm saying? But for him, in terms of the coast, with like out of his more natural still how he's had to exist in his life, it's like, damn, man, yeah, like, damn, how you doing? You know? And so I've seen that level of coast, or when we go and speak somewhere, or all this stuff is new. Like a lot of people, I think he back and people forget, he was gone 34 years, then the 26 years before he went away. He's a street guy. Mm-hmm. He raised up the ranks and did it, but he wasn't no public, person. He was in the underworld. People forget that. You know what I mean? You go from that and then you do 34 years in federal prison.
Yeah, away from everybody even more.
Right? Now you in college classrooms, in high school classrooms, and you know what I'm saying, the White House, and you know what I mean. He got class, and he's a smart, but that's an adjustment. And I think sometimes people forget. So we talking about he been code switching a lot,
and
you know what I'm saying.
And sometimes we get thrusted into those situations where we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice to walk by Big Bear sometimes because maybe that's where your company meeting at.
Yeah.
Right. Or you don't have a choice to walk by whatever restaurant it may be or whatever space it may be. Right. Maybe a conference at the Pendry.
Facts.
For your job, or maybe a family event is being held somewhere that you aren't accustomed to going to, and maybe there's a family member having a themed event where you got to go buy something you normally wouldn't have bought on your own, right? So I think getting in the practice of expanding is important in preparation for times when you don't have a choice.
And I'm talking to the homies too, right? You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, this is how I always looked at it. Especially a lot of homies that, you know what I'm saying, been away. If you can adjust the prison, don't tell me what you can't adjust. You can adjust to anything. And then if you can adjust to that being on that corner, or being in that building, or being in that alley, you feel what I'm saying? You can adjust to that. You know what I mean? Don't tell me what you can't. One of the things I'll be wanting people to pull from these traumatic situations, you could adjust to being in them hospital rooms with them bullets in your ass and all that. You know what I'm saying? I want you to understand that if you made it through that kind of stuff, there's nothing you can't do. There ain't nothing you can't do. You know what I'm saying? You could go in an interrogation room, sit across from detectives and and you telling me you can't go on a job interview? But I've seen that. Dude been through all of it, tell me, I just get nervous, Slim, when I get... Like, what? Come on, man. What you been through, bro? You can do anything.
Yeah.
You can do anything. We coming out them households we coming out them communities. And you made it. You just gotta, the desire has to be there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You gotta see the pay value in, but them chance encounters, man, I believe in that, bro. I believe in that. You never know who you gonna meet. You never know. But again, you gotta believe though that you're worthy, that when somebody meets you. So yes, code switch to the point of where it's for the ability to communicate and to connect with all that. But know that you have, you can, but who you are is enough. You know what I mean? You worthy of that. You know what I mean? There's too many times we don't feel that. You know what I mean? I think that's the key thing, man. And you gonna have to, shed some bad habits along the way. But that's in anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's in anything, bro. Yeah. Shit, I ain't coming to the professional world. Charles Jones, to be working under his leadership helped me grow a lot. You know what I'm saying? I remember that specific. Being a roving leader, I was so raw. It took me, it took me a decade before I really feel like I, got there. You know what I'm saying, Si?
Yeah,
I'm still raw if it relates to certain things.
I told Charles the other day we were talking, I said, you got a good way of reinforcing positive attributes and behavior to get the outcome you desire.
Yeah, for sure.
He one of them people. Yeah. He'll speak life into you.
Nah, definitely.
So that you can be positive.
Step it up. Yeah.
Right? And I think
he's better at that now.
Yeah.
Back then he's gonna tell me, what are you doing? He'll come in and Joe look at it like, say like a casual Friday or something. Uh-huh. I think that mean I'm in that joke, you know what I'm saying? Prada's.
You got the Bengals jersey on or something?
Yeah, or something. No, I might even have like a little sweater, but I'm saying I took it too far. You feel what I'm saying? I got jeans back there, jeans down here. I got the
Friday's GW
no
ready.
Question. It's no.
You going right there anyway? So
I'm going right there after. I'm shooting right down to Fridays and GW after. Anyway, you know what I mean? Jones coming at Joe. Look at you, man. Come here, let me talk to you, man. What are you doing? I used to be offended too. And look, I'm looking around. I'm saying he got. Like what? You pointing, you singling me out, but he was helping me get to that next level. Uh-huh. I ain't know it. You understand what I'm saying? But and then saying, okay, shit like, all right, nah, you the job coach, I need you to go and facilitate that class. What? Facilitate the class? I ain't never really done it. Nah, go ahead. I need you to do that. If he don't do that, I don't never even find my real gift. What I became like known for. You know what I'm saying?
Pushed you in the right.
100%.
Yeah, in the right way.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
But in order for me to start doing that and being this, I had to understand how it all tied together. So yeah, I do gotta put a towel on, right? I do gotta, you see what I'm trying to say? Like you get in a certain space in order to stay there. And to excel there, then you gotta start too. When we start talking about code switching, then guess what? How I'm gonna teach code switching? That became my right. I'm trying to teach people how to code switch. How can I teach people how to code switch without code switching? But I think what made people believe they could do it was I was a walking example of code switching while still remaining. Cause what I never wanted to make somebody feel, people see code switch and they think they gotta share all of who they are.
Or I gotta mimic you.
Yeah, I gotta be them. Yeah, especially most times that's something I see as being opposite of me. And it's like, nah, you ain't gotta share all of who you are. Cause and to this day I always want to be that. Like people can say, man, that look at Tone, man. Yeah, I'm here, I went to the thing yesterday for the kickoff jump. I was coming from another event, but I had on some sweatpants and some phone pauses. Uh-huh. Hey, man. But also, what I look like ain't got nothing to do with what come out of my mouth. But anyway, I wasn't speaking, but you get my point.
Yeah.
But I think that gives people confidence that, okay.
It's still, you got, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay.
There's some space there.
There's some space there. Yeah. For sure. Especially after you know what I mean?
And I think we see that, too. With some of our leaders, you spoke about the mayor, but I think some of the council members that we do know, they give us that hope too, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you see.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope people see them and like you said, see that.
Like we've seen like 3 or 4 of them in a museum ad.
Yeah, facts.
Right?
look and not looking like that's something they wouldn't wear.
That they don't already wear or purchase. Not like
right.
they go, I buy from there.
I be in here.
Yeah.
I've come in here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And I think that's important. That's strong. You know, that you're enough. Like, you don't have to completely share who you, and that's why I don't like using the word change. I use the word grow. Because when you tell people they gotta change, and even if you tell me what they receive is that they have to literally become somebody else. And really, bro, that's people see that in a lot of ways as an impossibility. Like, you don't have to. No, you just need to add dimensions. You know what I mean? And we've been code switching all our life, bro. Like, most times, I mean, I don't know about everybody, but you don't talk to your homie like you talk to your grandmother. You don't talk to your girlfriend like you talk to your homie. You know what I mean? We gotta give people things they can wrap their mind. Like, yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's like, yeah, bro, you gotta code switch. You know, we code switching all the time. It's just sometimes when we talk about doing it as it relates to business or, you know, our social life, whether we get a little like.
And a lot of it is because they don't have the reps. They don't have the practice.
There you go. They don't come to the event, which
they don't come to the event.
As you know, that's
the reps.
That's symbolic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't put the reps in.
Yeah, man. And sometimes that's the main thing. You mentioned when I was talking to Mark and Taz, I was saying Rodney got me to going to the club. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to, even just learning the environment too. We talked about adaptation. I'm coming out to go-go. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never go to no regular club. I'm a go-go nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we in a go-go, like, it's all killers in the go. Now, it ain't all killers in the go-go, but you know what I'm saying, right? You bump a dude, you know what I'm saying? Out of respect, you won't just be like, man, my bad, home. You know, whatever the case may be, it's etiquette. Because you know that could go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a different, you get in the club, wow, well, we used to, back then, I'm all these college dudes, like, I'm in college, but I'm calling you all these college niggas, right? You know, right? So, but they drunk, they bump, they don't mean no harm. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I was on, because that's the type of time, he disrespected me. I'm taking him, he didn't even see me. He didn't even know he bumped me.
Yeah.
Right? But it took me in being in a different environment, though, to understand the landscape here. You know, and sometimes that's all it takes. Getting people in these other environments. One of the things I know in my life that I thought was very important about, we always talk about people getting a job, right? And how important that is. And we always look at it from, we typically having that conversation from a monetary standpoint. But the most important thing about a job is that you'll work around other pro-social people, bro. I learned a lot from my coworkers, bro. I learned so much from my coworkers. I mentioned like Mr. Jones, but like Alec Vincent. You know what I'm saying? When I was a roving leader, like Al and DeCarlo, and you know what I'm saying? Big Wash, but when I was at Roving Leaders, you know what I'm saying? James Berg, Darby Clark, you know what I'm saying? Damon Singletary, all them, Rodney Weaver, all them dudes that was Roving Leaders. But I learned from them. Not just about how to be a professional, but like, oh man, like how do you, okay? They taught me stuff. They asked me about bank account. You know, I learned things that wasn't nobody around my way or in my household or my father. Nobody couldn't teach me the things that them dudes taught me. You know what I'm saying? Just from being in their presence. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of stuff that I think is valuable. Again, when we talk about getting, you know, people from out in these different environments where they can learn and get exposure to things that the people in their immediate circles at that current time just can't teach them.
Yeah, and hopefully you could take it back to them.
That's it, bro.
But then imagine if all of y'all were dispersing and getting that experience.
And bringing it back to the turf.
Bringing it back to the turf. Yeah.
That's the goal. That's how we change this thing.
Yeah.
That's why we got to get people in them spaces.
Yeah.
And then they'll also, I think, be more likely, right? They'll be more likely to venture off in these different things. Because one of the things about that I think our generation of Washingtonians take for granted too, as far as the generation behind us ain't coming into the same workforce that you came into. They have to be more worldly. They got to be more expansive. They not working nowhere with everybody black in this city no more.
Ain't no office mothers.
Ain't none of that.
None of that.
Ain't none of that.
Yeah.
That's done.
She ain't got no third flu for you.
Her none table, of none of that. She don't know your aunt. She ain't go to school with your mother. You know,
she ain't bring no food to work.
Yeah, none of that. That's different.
Yeah.
This so sometimes even when we trying to mentor, advise the next generation, they really going into a work environment that you might be in it now, but you're in it now as a seasoned, tenured person. You're not new coming into the workforce where the director is from Iowa. Where you have a multicultural staff that you're a part of, right? Where
more than two genders.
More than two genders, where they want to know your pronouns. And all of these things. It's a new time. The District of Columbia is cosmopolitan. We didn't grow up in a cosmopolitan city.
Not at all. Not at all.
Our kids, when they visit New York City or San Francisco or wherever, they're not going to be shocked. It's not going to be different from, as different as as those places would be from when we grew up.
Yeah. You
understand what I'm saying? Where you live in a cosmopolitan place. And so you have to have a cosmopolitan mindset. So the idea of code switching has never been more pertinent in this city than it is today, and will continue to be.
All right. Well, I think of all of what we talked about, what you said is most paramount about the terrain changing.
Yeah.
The terrain has changed. You had 1.5 inch cleats. You better get some 3-inch cleats now to get your footing under you, because what you hunting, it's a different species. It's faster.
My God. It's
more terrain to cover in less time. This is a lot that we're up against, but I do hold faith that we can adjust, adapt, and those who do will not only survive but thrive. But if you put adaptation at the front of your mind, I think you got a way better chance of actually adapting.
Yeah. It's literally for your survival.
Yeah.
Old Lord and dudes to tell me, man. Change you must, or die you will.
Yeah. That's it. I think that's how we're going to wrap it up. Change you must, or die you will. Heart of the city.
Heart of the city. Peace and love.
Peace and love.